Hello and welcome to Feast Your Eyes. We revisit great films and look at the stories they tell with and about food. This episode...
Welcome to Jurassic Park.
Now, Jurassic Park uses food and drink a lot in its storytelling. It introduces characters, communicates how they're feeling, and shows what is happening to them. This is unsurprising, as Jurassic Park is ultimately about one of the greatest culinary taboos, humans becoming food. Because of this, in the film, appetite is generally depicted as a monstrous thing. When the dinosaurs eat the animals given to them, it's disturbing and violent, so violent that all we see is the horrified reactions of the onlookers. Food is not just consumed, it's torn apart. Now, the food here itself isn't that shocking. Cow and goat are both animals that humans eat.
What's the matter, kid? You never had lamb chops?
But of course dinosaurs do it without the mediation of cooking. And the failure of electricity is a crucial plot point, as the entire operation of the park cannot run without power, just as the entire premise of the park, that humans can use technology to stay at the top of the food chain, depends on electricity. When it goes wrong, the relationship is reversed and humans go on the menu.
Big Tim, the human piece of toast.
So it's no coincidence that the climax takes place in a dark, empty kitchen. By learning to open doors and enter the kitchen, the raptors manage to make the space their own. Cramped into cupboards, the people become the ingredients.
Who's hungry?
So that's the dinosaurs. What about the humans and their food? John Hammond arranges for his guests to eat a meal of chili and sea bass prepared by his gourmet chef Alejandro. But in this entire lunch scene, not one person touches their food. Now that's partly because actors don't want to eat for every take, but also because, again, appetite would code these characters as either monstrous or tragic. Take a look at the human villain, Dennis Nedry. When we first meet him, he's eating from several plates. This is true of lots of films where only one character eats a lot. That character is often large, clumsy, and messy.
Look at this workstation. What a complete slump.
Like the dinosaurs, his eating is sloppy and chaotic. Consumption is a kind of carnage. And as with many large eaters in films, he's greedy. His gastronomic, financial, and sexual desires are excessive and equate all appetite with a general selfishness and the desire to consume.
Don't get cheap on me, Dodson.
Then, as punishment for his crime of greed, he of course becomes food for something else. Nedry is childlike. Look at the way he giggles over the bag of money. Because he's an adult, his appetite is inappropriate, but the child characters Tim and Lex are allowed to indulge their taste for sweet things, which they do in a great scene when they encounter a dessert buffet. The way in which food demarcates adults and children is something we'll come back to in a moment. How about the other human characters? Eating tells us about them. Gennaro the lawyer is blood-sucking as his greed is parasitic.
Thank you.
Ian Malcolm eats in small, sneaky bursts when others don't. A bag of nuts on the helicopter or a hip flask in the Jeep. This is because he represents chaos, a reminder that not everything will conform. In the moral order of eating in the film, he really is the bad boy rock star. When the park loses power, Hammond eats ice cream, ostensibly because it's melting, but also as comfort food, regressing again to a childish appetite in a moment of crisis. He even looks as if he's placed the ice cream tubs as a barricade, defending himself from the awful truth that his park is a failure. In the same scene, when Ellie gets so upset that she starts to cry, she takes a single spoonful of ice cream as a salve.
It's good.
Malcolm accuses Hammond of playing God, but what Hammond really wants is to be a mother. He insists that all the baby dinosaurs imprint on him personally at birth. He only breeds female dinosaurs, populating the park with potential mothers, but denying or attempting to deny that very possibility. Of course, in nature, a mother's main role is to provide food for her young. He does this with the dinosaurs as he does with the humans. He gives them food as well as money, both represented by the champagne bottle that introduces him.
Hey, we were saving that!
And finally, there's our hero, Alan Grant. Alan respects dinosaurs and their eating habits.
I want to go now.
Just look how it eats.
Please.
In fact, he revels in scaring the crap out of this child with those eating habits.
You are alive when they start to eat you.
He's also notably skeptical of computer technology. He recognises that carnivores won't be satisfied with simply being served, and a human mother ostensibly can't provide prey, but of course, life finds a way. Hammond attempts to command dinosaurs on behalf of his species, and when Nedry tells the Dilophosaurus,
I have no food on me. I have nothing on me. Come on.
he doesn't realise, in fact, food is all he has on him. Alan's own narrative arc sees him cultivate a nurturing, motherly relationship with the children, whereas Gennaro skips out on his parental responsibilities and is eaten as punishment. Alan stays with the children and protects them. It's mentioned that Tim and Lex's parents are going through a divorce. They are plainly afraid of abandonment.
So I want you to stay right here and wait for me.
He left us! He left us!
But that's not what I'm gonna do.
Like the dinosaurs, they are in need of an appropriate parent. In this pivotal scene, feeding and caregiving come together. Giving food to dinosaurs, Alan also offers protection to the kids. This is one of the things that Jurassic Park tells us with food. If adults can't provide children with the nourishment they need, then one way or another, they risk going on the menu.
Clever girl.
Until next time.